Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you something I've been working on lately. I kind of got tired of playing straight meta, um, by which I mean Orcust. So I made a fun little deck that I've been calling Striker Mech. It's, as you can see on the side, I think it's pretty obvious what it combines. So I'm going to go through the deck profile, start with the main deck. So first off, you got 3 Mekk-Knight Blue Sky and 3 Purple Nightfall. These are definitely the best 2 in the deck. For anybody that doesn't know, Blue Sky searches as many Mekk-Knights as cards your opponent controls in the same column, and Purple can banish itself, not for cost, to search out any Mekk-Knight from the deck. Also running 2 Indigo Eclipse, otherwise known as Move Man. He can move any Mekk-Knight from one column to another, which comes in handy with another card that'll come up later. 1 yellow and 1 red. The yellow destroys a back row in the same column by banishing a Mekk-Knight in the grave, and Red Moon destroys any face-up monster in the same column by banishing a Mekk-Knight from grave. They also just come in handy as Mekk-Knight bodies. We're running 2 Aperia. I love playing this card just to see the reaction from people, because nobody knows what it is or what it does, and all it does is on summon, draw 1 card. It's the only real normal summon in the main deck, and it's just used to go into Almirage to help make columns. Also main decking 3 Cyber Dragon. It's a blind second deck, so this card is almost always live as long as I'm going second. We are running Chimera Tech Mega Fleet in the extra deck, so that way if they have anything in the extra monster zone and I have this in hand, say they have Sunlight Wolf, I can special summon this. If they don't destroy it with Rage, I just Contact Fuse in the Mega Fleet. For hand traps, we're main decking 3 DD Crow. Definitely more of a meta call right now than Ash Blossom or Ghost Ogre. I don't have Phantasme. I cannot afford Phantasme, but these have worked out pretty well so far in testing. On to the spells. For Mekk-Knight spells, 2 World Legacy's Memory. Lets you special summon any Mekk-Knight from the deck in defense position. It does lock you into Mekk-Knights for the rest of the turn, so something to keep in mind there. Other than that, it can really help set up boards and just get you like a purple, which can get you any other Mekk-Knight. For the Striker package, as always, 3 Engage. Seeing this in hand basically means you can definitely set up turn 1. You can use it to grab Hornet Drones, Widow Anchor, or Shark Cannon. I'm considering adding in Afterburners as an extra target. Also main decking 3 Mind Control. Again, we're blinding second, so what's yours is mine. Main decking 3 Instant Fusion for Thousand Eyes Restrict. If I would put in Afterburners, I would probably cut one of these, since once Thousand Eyes is out of the extra deck, they're just dead draws late game. For back row removal, 3 Cosmic Cyclone. You really don't want to lose hand advantage with something like Twin Twisters, and banishing something usually means it's gone for good. You can hit, say, like a Servant of Endymion, and it can just shut them down. Mekk-Knight Traps, 2 World Legacy Secret. It can revive any level 5 or higher monster. Something to keep in mind that it's not just Mekk-Knights. But then any column that a Mekk-Knight monster is in, an opponent's monster in the same column has its effects negated. So usually you would want to bring back something like Moveman, so that you can put it in the same column as whatever monster they just brought out. Then if they manage to bring out another one, you can move Indigo over to that column and negate that one as well. And then 3 infinite impermanents, just for basic negate. For the extra deck, 2 Mekk-Knight of the Morningstar. This is another card that people just don't read. If you're not in the same column as a Mekk-Knight, don't bother attacking. What he does is, on summon, you can discard a Mekk-Knight or World Legacy card to search a World Legacy spell or trap from the deck. And then, if an opponent's monster attacks one of your Mekk-Knights that is not in the same column, they're not destroyed, and there's no battle damage. I cannot count the number of times that somebody has summoned something bigger in a different column, went into battle phase without asking what this card does, and swings, and I just sit back and say, okay, it doesn't do anything. Then they pick up the card and start reading. Always read a card if you don't know what it does. Also running a Mekk-Knight Spectrum Supreme. If there's nothing else in the same column, it can attack directly. And if it's in the extra monster zone and it's not pointing to anything, it can't be targeted by card effects. It also has another effect to send another card that you control in his column to the graveyard to special summon a Mekk-Knight from the deck in defense position. That one's never actually come up for me. Unless I'm using it to attack directly for 3k, I'll sometimes go into this just to clear my extra monster zones for the Sky Striker spells. It does require Mekk-Knight monsters. Unlike Morningstar, which just requires 1 Mekk-Knight and then any other monster. Running 1 Almirage to create a column. And then we're running Kagari and Shizuku in the main deck for the Sky Strikers. I was originally just running Kagari to get back the engage, and then I started doing test hands and realized that every now and then I would just be playing Sky Striker. And at that point, I would rather have at least another Striker link. So I put in Shizuku so that at least at end phase I could search another spell. 1 IP Masquerena. What can I say? It's a great generic link too. It lets me make Avermax on my opponent's turn in case they actually read Morningstar and put something bigger in the same column. 1 Dingirsu. You can actually hard make this with just 2 level 8s, but you can also use Mind Control to steal a Galatea from the opponent and overlay into this. 1 Boral Load, 1 Boral Sword, and 1 Avermax. Boral Load is for just dealing with stuff like Avermax that normally just is a hard out. Boral Sword for OTKs, and Avermax just for anything really. If a special summon monster attacks him, he gains that monster's attack. And then, if he's made using IP Masquerena, he can't be targeted by or destroyed by my opponent's card effects. And then even if they do manage to get rid of him, I get to shuffle one of their cards back into the deck. I would say that's pretty good. a Nightmare Phoenix for generic Link 2 and back row removal, and Trizbana, again for back row removal, for stuff like Striker and True Draco. And then for the Instant Fusion, you have Thousand Eyes, and then, as mentioned before, the Mega Fleet. That's the entirety of the extra deck. The side deck is definitely flexible. I actually just made a change a couple days ago. So, but as of right now, I'm siding 3 Ash Blossom, because there are some decks that DD Crow does not hurt. I have Afterburners and Jamming Waves in the side deck. I'm honestly not sure what I would put in here yet if I moved Afterburners to the main in place of the Instant Fusion. I don't know if I would side deck the Instant Fusion, the third Instant Fusion. 3 Artifact Lancia. You almost have to right now. For specific matchups, like if I know that somebody is going to be playing Nibiru, 2 Nightmare Corruptor Ibly. I don't usually swap out the Aperia. Instead, I'll usually find something else to take out and then just have 4 normal summons. It doesn't... I've never had it hurt me to have 4 normal summons in there instead of 2. You just have to watch out with Ibly in case you're going up against something like Salamangreat, because they can just go right into their combo with that. 3 Evenly Matched. Still an awesome card. Yes, there's stuff like Solemn Judgment to 3 now, but it's still gonna, like, if it's gonna destroy a board, it's gonna wreck that person's board, and it can basically win you a game. Just be careful in this deck with it, because you're also taking away any columns that you could have with their stuff. And then the 1 Hayate. Just, again, if something happens that I feel like I'm going to need to play more Sky Striker than Mekk-Knight, I can swap that in and just roll with that. Link Spider is an option. You can make it using the Hornet Drones token. You can use it making a Nibiru token. I have a couple people at my locals that play Dinos. If they give you a Dino token with Lost World, you can make it using that. It can come in handy. I just don't have the extra deck space right now. I've only really been testing this at locals so far. But it's been doing pretty well. Really, any time that something goes wrong, it was more of a mental mistake on my part. Okay, so I'm going to do just a couple test hands. So, like I said, you want to blind second, but most likely what's going to happen is if you win a game, they're going to make you go first. So, a really big problem with pure Mekk-Knights is that they can struggle with that. Thus, the Sky Striker engine. It can help a lot as long as you draw Engage or Hornet Drones and a Mekk-Knight. So, let's move these down here. You would lead with Engage. Grab yourself a Hornet Drones. Activate the Hornet Drones. Get yourself a token. Link that off into your Kagari. Higari's effect can add back the engage, which we will use later. In fact, we'll actually set it to make a column and special summon the red moon that was in our hand. Not the greatest Mekk-Knight to start with, but it still gets the job done here. We'll link those two off into our Morningstar. Usually here you would try to use Morningstar's effect to discard a Mekk-Knight or a World Legacy card from the hand to get World Legacy Secret, but we open with it, so we don't have to. So we're just going to go ahead and set the secret. We can activate the engage a second time and grab a Widow Anchor or a Shark Cannon, or if you have the Afterburners in here and you think that's going to be a good call, you can grab that. Whatever your choice is, you can grab that. And then really you can just set everything and pass it to your opponent. Chances are they're going to have a pretty hard time getting through a Monster Negate from Secret, a Monster Negate from Widow Anchor, which you would have to use before using Secret, a Spell or Trap Banish from Cyclone, and a Monster Negate from Impermanence. If they can get through that, they've earned it. Alright, so here's another example. This time we drew into 2 starters. And we didn't hard draw any Mekk-Knights, but luckily we did draw into World Legacy's memory. We still likely won't be able to get secrets, but between engage, being able to get us a Widow Anchor, Shark Cannon, any of that, and Impermanence, we should be able to survive until the next turn. Something that you can do to start off is summon Hyperia. Hyperia's effect when you summoned to draw a card, and you just got a DD Crow. Now, granted, that could have easily just as been something useless like a Cyber Dragon. You would link that off into your Almirage. And then at this point, if you want to at least guarantee getting the Morningstar, you can activate Engage to try to bait an Ash. So even say they Ash the Engage, you still have memory to get yourself, say, purple. And then you can still take those two, make Morningstar, set the Imperm, and have a DD Crow and an Instant Fusion in hand. Alright, so this hand is not good, but it's also not the worst. We can actually make this work by sacrificing our Thousand Eyes. So we'll lead with the Instant Fusion, paying 1,000 to bring out Thousand Eyes Restrict. Let's put him in defense. At that point, you can use World Legacy's Memory. And get purple. You can banish purple to search for your indigo. The reason you want to do this is so that on your next standby phase, the purple comes back, so you're not actually losing it. So that's going to go to hand. We'll set the imperm to special summon Moveman. Link in the Morningstar. Use Morningstar's effect to discard yellow so we can get our secrets. Then you set the secrets, and you have a negate, an imperm, and then 2 potential negates with secrets, reviving indigo. Alright, so for the last one, I want to show you guys just like an ideal starting hand if you have to go first. So in this situation, you lead with engage to get yourself the Hornet drones. Activate the Hornet drones to get your token. Link summon off the token into your Kagari. Kagari would add back the engage, which you can fire off again to grab Widow Anchor. You can really set either of these two, or if you really want to, you could set the Instant Fusion as like a back row bait. We'll set the Widow Anchor to special summon purple, banish the purple to get indigo, special summon the indigo, and then link those off into our Morningstar. Morningstar's effect, we'll discard the memory to get our secrets. And you set the secrets, set the imperm, stay in the pendulum column, because why not? Or you could even set the imperm in the middle column if you think that they're just going to play straight to the middle. So then on their turn, you have a negate there, and actually a negate and steal with 3 spells engrave, a negation, 2 negations through secret, and a negation through imperm. That is my Mekk-Knight Sky Striker deck, otherwise known as Striker Mech. If you like what you see, let me know. If you have any suggestions for improvement, definitely let me know. I am not too proud to make some changes if somebody else has a good idea. And see you in the next video. Thanks.